That's the most important thing, I think, is that right now in New Jersey politics, there are so many people who feel like they have to go through this arcane process of the smoky room in the back door, the back room, smoky, kind of like these big entrenched institutionalists who are going to direct you what to say, what to think, what to do, how to use the money for the campaign, that kind of thing. And then there's just doing it, and I think we need more people who are going to be willing to break out. It's a funny story, I literally just started going, door to door and campaigning. I didn't go through the screening. I didn't go through the line, and it just kind of worked out. We didn't win, but we did make a big dent.
Yeah, well, you don't always win, but you can make the dent for the next time.
Yes,
at least let people know you're there.
Yeah, well, I just think it's important that we have leaders who are going to be standing up and fighting for our values. Especially with my generation, there's a huge concern that we have no hope of owning anything. It's kind of like, eat the bud, live in the pod, own nothing, and be happy. And I don't want to see my generation submit to that. I think that there's a better way forward. I think that we can restore the American dream, and we're looking for politicians and leaders in New Jersey who are going to be willing to fight, not just for a certain ideology, but literally our way of life.
You're absolutely right. And you know what I like the best about it is that Young Republican Club.
Yes.
Younger people getting involved, because I mean, you look at politicians, you look at anyone that's elected, all you see is people 60, 70 year old. When you see people like yourself and Patrick, he helped me out with my campaign when I ran, and he's heavily involved. To see young people getting involved and noticing that this is going to affect not just your future, but when you decide to have children or friends' children or family's children, that this is going to affect them, and you're thinking ahead. A lot of people of your age, I would say, enough, don't really think past that. The fact that you guys are already thinking about that, it's a good start.
Oh, I appreciate that. And it's really, you said, when we have kids, they will inherit the decisions that we're making right now, and it's very true, but it's also a question of whether we can have kids. And what I mean by that is that there's a majority of people who don't have kids in my generation. If you look at the surveys, they say they want to have kids, but they can't. And the number one thing that they say is that they can't afford it. And when you're cramping people in, tiny apartments, townhomes made of sawdust in this state for $450,000 starting, who's going to be able to afford that? Who's going to be able to afford, a working middle class in New Jersey?
But one thing I will say, before a bill comes over, there's never a good time to have kids. You can't just go by the economy, go by money, how much money you're making, stuff like that.
We want people to be able to.
Hey, there comes Bill. Hey, real quick, fellas. After that beautiful speech, I don't have much to ask you. Thank you.
All right,
Bill.
I'll sit for one. We've got time for a picture, he tells me.
All right. Bill, welcome to the
Live?
Jersey Shore podcast. We are live right now.
Yeah, all right.
I know you got to go. Bill's got to run. He's very busy. He's like lightning in a bottle. He's hard to catch. So I only have one question really to ask you, because after that speech, we pulled it all out.
Excellent.
So it's out there. So Trump had 4 years to overturn all the stuff that Biden has done. 4 years.
Right.
You have 8 years of.
Well, actually, Damon, we have 8 years that we have to undo. We're going to undo it in 18 months because I'm not going to wait for the courts. I'm not going to wait for the legislature. We are going to sign 100 executive orders in the first 100 days to stop phase 4 of high density housing, to declare a state of emergency when it comes to public safety. We are going to end bail reform. We're going to start enforcing federal detainer orders. We are going to cut through all the bureaucracy on transportation to get our roadways and our bridges fixed and repaired and rebuilt. We are going to go in and support our family farms. And I'm going to go into the cities, and any city school district that does not embrace school choice by allowing these children to get out of the failed system and into a charter school, the state is going to take over that Board of Ed, and we're going to force the issue. And that is going to enable us to lower real estate taxes by lowering the average cost per student. We are going to get this done right away. Plus, we're going to end the illegals who are driving, which is going to get more uninsured motorists off the road and end the discrimination in insurance. Allows these companies to charge you more if you're not a college graduate. That is absolutely outrageous. We're going to end that as well. So